Thanks very much, Holly, and Sue Ellery is also going to join me on stage. I'd like to thank Trevor for his welcome to country, and we deeply appreciate the Noongar people and the contribution they're making to the life of this state, and we acknowledge all the traditional owners right across our state. The resource industry works very closely with the traditional owners everywhere, and we pay deep respect to their connection to country. I'd like to acknowledge that we'll be joined very soon by the Premier of Western Australia, the Honourable Roger Cook, to demonstrate how important we all see this. I'm joined on stage by my ministerial colleague, Honourable Sue Ellery, in her capacity as Minister for Women's Interest, and what we want to do is let you know about our deep commitment to safe workplaces, and in particular today, and the reason that Sue's joining me is that we want to let you know we're launching a new campaign to support our 24/7 anonymous reporting line that's available for victims, bystanders and employers, PCBUs. And our campaign to highlight this 24/7 reporting line is called Speak Up, Report It. The campaign will run in 3 phases. It'll initially focus on victims, then it'll focus on bystanders, and finally on the executives and people with the responsibility for preventing sexual harassment in workplaces, employers. It's important to always acknowledge that it's the person in charge of a business or undertaking, a wonderful legal term for an employer, is always responsible. Our campaign will be feature digital, radio and print, and as well as outdoor. And we want to highlight the fact that all workers should be confident that they have the opportunity to speak up. And I'll invite Sue Ellery to make some comments as well.
Thanks very much, Bill. This is 2 for the price of 1, folks. The day's starting well because you're getting a bargain. Can I also acknowledge the Noongar people as the traditional owners of the land that we're meeting on today, and thank Trevor for his welcome to country. I want to support Bill in the work that his agency has led in responding to the really jolting work that was done by the Parliamentary Committee, and to commend those brave women that gave evidence to the Parliamentary Committee. Bill and I just did a media event where we launched what he's just described, and we also launched a project around providing small to medium-sized resource industry companies with some resources to help them put policies in place. And we were asked a question by one of the journos about really what can a summit, what can a talk fest like today achieve? And I think it was a really good question, and the point I think that needs to be made is this is an important milestone on the journey that we're all on. This is not the be-all and end-all. There's no silver bullet of getting 1,000 people together to share what works best, but it is an important milestone. We can reflect on the work that's been done to date since 2021, when we refocused our efforts on this issue. We can look at what is working best, what is not working, learn from that and take that back to our respective workplaces. Now, not only have you got 2 for the price of 1, you're getting me twice. I'm coming back later this afternoon, and I look forward to joining you then. Thanks very much, folks.
Now, hopefully there's a video to play, but I don't know whether that's going to happen. All right, so look, thanks, Sue. I appreciate the work that's done together between our agencies. We know that eliminating sexual harassment in workplaces is no easy task. If it was an easy task, it would have already been done. And the Department of Mines, Industry Regulation and Safety, the Department of Communities, the Equal Opportunity Commission, our whole of government is working together to try and improve the circumstance for women in Western Australia. And whether it's Sue Ellery's commitment to seeing higher numbers of women in leadership positions in the public service, or the government's commitment to appoint at least half of our boards and committees as women, is just a part of the demonstration of our commitment to improve the circumstance for women in Western Australia. Also want to acknowledge the many other people in the room here today that are showing their commitment to this journey to eliminate sexual harassment. I won't repeat all the acknowledgements from Holly this morning, but I want to say that I'm very pleased that we've got these high-profile keynote speakers that are coming here to join us today and share their deep understanding of the challenges that we're trying to face here. We know why we're here, and we've seen the reporting of Caitlin Rintoul in the West Australian newspaper, which shone a light on the disgraceful behaviours that had been happening in our industry. The Enough is Enough report set out the recommendations for change, and we've also seen Respect at Work and other reports give us a blueprint for what needs to be done. So where the Cook Labor government is deeply committed to improving health and safety in workplaces, and the Work Health and Safety Act has now been in place for about 15 months, and it cleared up any misconceptions about the responsibilities in workplaces. And it also clarified that mentally healthy workplaces is just as important as physically healthy workplaces. WorkSafe continues to provide education and reinforcement of the obligations of persons in charge of a business or undertaking, including the management of contractors. As part of these efforts to develop and deliver best practice regulation in mining, WorkSafe Mines has implemented a range of measures to strengthen its regulatory capability. This includes expanding the team of mental health and wellbeing inspectors, providing WorkSafe mine safety inspectors with psychological hazard training, and standardising incident triage systems. New codes of practice have been released covering violence, aggression and bullying at work, workplace behaviour and psychological hazards in the workplace. In addition, the Mining and Petroleum Advisory Committee and the Work Health and Safety Commission are reviewing the existing codes of practice on mentally healthy workplaces for FIFO workers and mine safety management systems. Also under consideration is a code of practice employers must consider to ensure safety of their workers staying at workplace accommodation. A new Equal Opportunity Act is currently being considered, and several key reforms will align to recommendations in both Respect at Work and Enough is Enough. The Parliamentary Committee's 2022 report, Enough Enough, regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment against women in the mining industry was a clear line in the sand that demanded response. The Cook government is committed to taking proactive measures to prevent those situations continue to occur. However, we understand that all sexual harassment starts with disrespect to women, and we understand that that's a community and cultural issue. Just because it's it extends beyond the mining industry doesn't excuse the mining industry from stepping up and facing its responsibilities. And we're committed as a government to work with the industry, both employers and employees, representative bodies of the employers, representative bodies of the workforce, to see improvement. And we know that culture change is required. We know that it cannot happen without employers demonstrating a commitment to creating a culture of inclusivity, a culture of respect, and a culture that values the safety of all employees. The state government's response to the Enough is Enough report was a commitment to address all 15 recommendations that were directed at us, as well as working collaboratively with employers and unions to progress the recommendations focused on industry. A year on from the report, a series of measures have been put in place to deliver the changes needed to our agency, and we want to continue the work with the industry to make workplaces safer. And we're doing that through the MARS program, a $21.4 million commitment to improving health and safety outcomes for workers in the industry. The funding supports the delivery of a number of the recommendations from the report, including this inaugural summit. The MARS program was established in December last year and is achieving results in delivering workplace strategies aimed at creating more inclusivity. I want to finish on this note, that you can see the commitment that the government has to driving cultural change. And we're doing that in government. We're doing that by having more than half of our boards and committees being women now, and almost half of our senior executive as women as well. You can see that because the gender diversity in our Labor Party cabinet and our Labor Party caucus. You can see that because we're investing in change. We're investing in responding to the community's needs, and you can see it because we're confronting the difficult challenges that sexual harassment demonstrate for the mining industry. Sexual harassment is a major safety hazard, and reporting these issues is responsibility of employers. We want to make sure that employers have the tools they need to eliminate sexual harassment in workplaces. We want to make sure that the workforce is equipped to be an active bystander and report incidents when they see it. And we want to make sure victims understand that we want to walk alongside you and support you in your journey. So to demonstrate the commitment the government has on these issues, I'm very pleased now to invite the Premier, Roger Cook, to the stage to speak, and immediately after him, Professor Parker will speak, just to clarify that. So please, Roger Cook, please join us on stage. Thank you very much.